Hello, everybody. No intro on this episode. This is G from the recording part of this episode. Or, not the recording part, the editing part. I haven't been home for the past 2 days. I've been running away from storms. I'm tired. Anyway, my mic decided to shit itself during the recording this episode, so I sound fucked. Like, half the episode. But, it's about beavers falling out of airplanes. I feel like, that makes up for it. That being said, sorry for the inconvenience to your eardrums. Enjoy the episode. What I like to call the story of the Beaver 2 bomber. Uh,
I'm sorry, what? We're bringing beavers into this?
oh, we're at least 77 of them. 76. Something like that. So,
Wait, there are that many beavers?
just in this one spot in Idaho, apparently, yeah.
Damn.
So, our story is going to start in 1948, just after World War II. A lot of my stories start there for whatever reason.
Well, that's when shit got weird. All those guys came back and
Around the time
what
of
do
the
we do now?
Hendekai effect one, too.
Yeah,
This is
they're
a
all like,
little
what do we
bit
do?
before World War II.
Idle hands now, and let's fuck with beavers, I guess.
But people in Idaho started moving into like McCall and around Payette Lake, with the more rural areas in Idaho. And apparently those areas had a large beaver population, let's say.
Okay.
And because, beavers, they ended up causing damage to like irrigation systems and orchards and just other farming systems in the area.
Doing what they do.
And it's rural Idaho, so everybody and their dog are farmers at this point.
Well, true, and I'm here to tell you that a beaver is a better ecological engineer than you'll ever be.
Uh,
So,
yeah, actually, I found out about that during this.
Mhm.
Apparently, wherever they get put, they just improve the ecosystem. Didn't know that.
I mean,
That's kind of cool.
I never thought I'd say this sentence, but I'm not going to come to you as a beaver expert. But I do know that.
But so because these beavers were causing so much property damage and fucking up irrigation systems and all that, the Idaho Fish and Game Department was tasked with moving the beavers. Because, we can't exist in this world without fucking with the ecosystem, apparently.
Yeah, I just picture a council of Native Americans sitting somewhere going, "Oh no, not again."
Oh, the white man has done it again. But
They're back.
because the area had just a lot of mountains and dense forested land, plus a lack of roads, it made the transport just tedious and arduous, just hell on everybody. Originally, how they would do it is they would cage the beavers and then put them on a horse or a mule to be taken to a conservation officer's house. By the time they would get to the conservation officer's house, since it was
Okay.
such a long journey, they would just stay in the cage at the conservation officer's house for the night. And then the next day, they would be taken a little bit further down the road and loaded onto another horse to be taken to wherever they were being delivered, right? I have a quote here from Elmo
Already.
W. Heater from the
Okay, I'm
Idaho
sorry,
Fishing
who?
Game.
Did you say Omo? What, heater?
Elmo W. Heater
I
from
feel like
the
the W is very important in this story.
Idaho Fish and Game Department
OW heater.
in the
Yeah, I know a little bit
1950s.
about beavers.
He said, quote, "Beavers cannot stand the direct heat of the sun unless they are in water. During transportation, they must be constantly cooled and watered. Sometimes they refuse to eat. Older individuals often become dangerously belligerent. Rough trips on pack animals are very hard on them. Horses and mules become spooky and quarrelsome when loaded with a struggling, odorous pair of live beavers. These problems
Oh my God.
involve further handling and too frequently result in a loss of beavers." So
Don't fuck with 72. He's pissed all the time.
I love the fact that he's like, yeah, the
The old
beavers were on
bastard.
the horses. They were getting all riled up, and it was pissing off the horses. But they also smelled bad, so I'm sure that didn't help the horses either.
Oh, I love Elmo heater already. Elmo W heater
Oh
already.
God, Elmo W. Heater may be the hero of the story. Like,
I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of this guy.
oh yeah, no, it's fucking great. By the way, we are going to stop at the end of this story, and I'm going to screen share the video I found of them loading the heaters, beavers onto the plane, and they're just fucking tossing the bitches off. So,
Okay, so hold on. They're putting them on planes.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh God,
That's why I
a
call it
heater
the
with the
beaver tube
beavers.
bomber.
I'm the beaver heater.
So, because of the heat and the spooky horses, as Elmo put it, this would also lead to the occasional beaver attack on a conservation officer, which we can't have
Oh
that.
man, that's
So
fantastic. That
this caused the Idaho Fish and Game Department to look for a faster and more humane way of transplanting the beavers, because obviously what they were doing sucked and was bad.
oh my God, I just can't imagine the logistics. I can just see Martha being like, "What happened to your hand?" She's like, "Fucking 72, Martha. I told you already." Like that one's foul tempered.
Like, that beaver is just pissed. So their solution was using airplanes and surplus World War II parachutes.
Of
So
course it was, because they just came back from the war.
yeah,
Like I said, idle hands.
they just had so many fucking parachutes after the war. They were like, we got to move these beavers somehow. Fuck it, might as well use the parachutes.
I've seen them throw super scared boys out of airplanes with those parachutes over in the war. So let's just do that to the beavers.
I saw a bunch of scared youngins jump out of airplanes with parachutes. I think beavers can handle it.
They were perfectly fine.
So I've got another quote from Elmo here. Quote, satisfactory experiments with dummy weights having been completed, one old male beaver, whom we fondly named Geronimo, was dropped again and again on the flying field. Each time he scrambled out of the box, someone was on hand to pick him up. Poor fellow. He finally became resigned, and as soon as we approached him, would crawl back into his box ready to go aloft again. So they just fucking...
Did you say Geronimo?
They did name the beaver Geronimo, yes.
The one that they're throwing out of the airplane.
Over and over again, yep.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, but interesting detail.
So, after sufficient testing with Geronimo, the Fish and Game Department deemed the transplant method safe enough to use.
The maddest beaver to ever exist.
I love how it's an old male beaver. Like, they specifically were like, let's get an old one. If the old one can handle it, the young ones can handle it.
The young ones can. This beaver's seen some shit.
So, they deemed the transplant method safe enough to use for the beavers. So they would gather up 76 beavers from the area, including Geronimo.
Oh, man.
However, only 75 beavers would survive the trip, as the lashings on the crate of one of the beavers would break in midair, and then the beaver would climb out of the box and either fall or jump to its death.
Oh my God. Could you imagine that beaver's last moments? Like, what? No, this is not what we're supposed to do.
So, because of this incident, Elmo once again said, even so, had he stayed where he was, all would have gone well. But for some inexplicable reason, when the box was within 75 feet of the ground, he jumped or fell from the box.
Like, this, I'm out. I'm out.
He's just like, yeah, I don't know why the beaver did it, but he did it. It's like, well, he's a fucking beaver.
Do you think he screamed Geronimo once he jumped out that box?
God, I hope he did. So
yeah,
it is important to note that they dropped these beavers out of the airplane from a height of 656 feet. So
okay, so pretty good ways up there.
Yeah, and
I mean, not like super high, but
that's pretty fucking high for a beaver, though.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, a beaver's not going to survive. Well, even 75 feet.
So the transplant method apparently worked fucking flawlessly, other than that one beaver.
There's always one.
A year later, the Game and Fish Department would revisit the transplanted beavers and see that they were all thriving. They had shored up water for, water storage, strengthened the shorelines of wherever they were, made the ecosystem for the local fish and just general fauna better in basically every regard, which was an interesting thing I learned.
You're not telling me a happy story, are you?
No, I'm telling you a happy, other than that one beaver, a happy story.
Oh. Well, rest in peace, Sitting Bull, because I'm sure they named him after an Indian chief.
Oh, they had to.
They did. Sorry, Cochise.
Here lies Beaver Fall Flat.
Uh, I mean,
When
so far it does sound like a feel good tale. Like
I
they're having problems with overcrowding of people in beaver areas,
this
so they
is
relocate the
definitely gonna
beavers.
be
And
like a 20-minute episode at most, just because it's not that big of a story, but it seemed wacky enough to, pull up, because
yeah,
who the fuck throws beavers out of airplanes?
I don't did not think I would hear this story today.
So, when asked why the practice stopped, Steve Liebenthal from the Idaho Fish and Game Department says it was most likely because the 76 beavers were enough to bring balance between the beavers and humans in McCall and around Lake Piatt. So, apparently they just picked the right number the first time and just fixed everything with the 76 beavers.
I just want a shirt that says 76 beavers.
Right?
If you know, you know.
So, the transport cost using the airplanes and the parachutes dropped to just $30 for 4 beavers, which in today's money is $294.
That is
Which
cheap.
it didn't say what the original cost was for 4 beavers. I couldn't find that, but it did say it dropped way down, so I assume it was at least double that. I'm assuming it was at least 60 per 4 beavers at least, bare
But
minimum.
still, I mean, $600 for what, 4 beavers? That's like $150 a beaver. I guarantee you couldn't do that today for that cost.
Right?
Like what the like Department of Conservation or whatever would charge for that is not going to be that low.
Oh God, no. But that price
So
would
way to go, Elmo W. Heater.
that price would also be halved if they had recovered the parachutes afterwards. So it would only be 15 for 4 beavers if they recovered the parachutes afterwards, which is fucking
Yeah,
insane.
but you know what? Old World War II vets don't do recover parachutes. That's what they
Right?
don't do. They're like, leave that good thing right there. I
And
never
so
want to see it again.
before we wrap this up and watch the little montage of them collecting the beavers, I have one last quote from Elmo W. here. Quote, you may be
Is he in this
sure
video?
You may be sure that Geronimo had a priority reservation on the first ship into the hinterland, and that 3 young females went with him. Even there, he stayed in the box for a long time after his harem was busy inspecting the new
Which is
surroundings.
crazy.
However, his colony was later reported as very well established. So, Geronimo fucked. Happy ending.
Apparently so.
I feel
And they
like
gave him his own like gaggle of hose or whatever. No, man, this is a feel good story. Geronimo lived a good life.
had his children, fostered a whole new ecosystem of beavers out in the hinterland.
And now he's an honorary member of the 101st Airborne.
I felt like coming in with a shorter, sweeter story this time. Give us a little mood boost in the middle of all our fucked up
Well,
episodes.
dude, it's so funny that you had mentioned around this time because I had just watched one this morning that caught my attention about where the vets came back to Tennessee and like the Battle of Athens or whatever, where they took arms down to the courthouse and were like, all right, we want to see the votes because I know y'all rigged this. It's such a crazy story. And it's like, what do vets do after wars? They come back, they get spit on, which I think is
Beavers
fucked
out
up.
of
But
airplanes, apparently.
yeah, then they got to find something to do with that energy, and that's how we end up with all kind of craziness.
But all
But at least
that
this,
being said,
at least
let
this
me
was a
just
happy, yeah. At
let me pull
least
up
this was a happy.
the video here, because I'm telling you, you have to see this fucking video. It's insane.
Oh, I'm gonna lose my absolute shit if I get to see Mr. Heater. Just
Alright.
because that is an epic name. We've discovered some pretty epic names.
Oh yeah,
Large shipping crate.
fucking
What was the
Adolf
one from
Gump,
Adolf Gump? What was the other one from the Hinterkaifeck effect one?
Prison's Riger.
Krisenschreiber, that's the one. That's fantastic. Ageltrude, I still think
Ecclesrude. Fuck.
that one holds up. Engelberta is also a good name.
Alright, if you'll take a look, I am sharing my screen with you currently.
Yes,
Alright, you able to see this grainy ass footage?
I am. Yes.
Alright, I'm just gonna hit play and let the video roll.
Large shipping crate.
Oh my God, is that
Into the
Elmo?
holding crate they go. Whoops. Get back in there, old girl. That's better.
Get back in there, oh God. He's like,
A
he
good
just
load.
comes back with 4
A
less
load of
fingers than he
beaver
started
for
with.
the mountains. In preparing for the
What?
operation, beaver must be sorted for even size and weight, with 1 pair of beaver for each box.
1 pair of beaver for each box. I love it.
Ear tags are attached for future information.
This poor beaver is like, what are we doing, guys?
I just want to point out a pair of beavers for each box, and they dropped 76 beavers, which means they dropped 38 crates, which means the one beaver who died left another beaver in the box just confused as fuck.
Like the fat one jumped out. I don't know. Which means that one of those beavers survived.
Yeah, right? Oh,
It
like,
wasn't the one that. Wait, do you think it was the one that jumped out, or you think the one that was the one that was in the box?
was the one that jumped out. According to Elmo, according to Elmo, he would have been fine had he not climbed out of the box in midair and then jumped off. So
Okay, so that seems to insinuate that the one that stayed in the box and was like, "What are you doing, Greg?" You know what I
he
mean?
was like,
Is the
what's
one that
going on?
is the one that survived. He probably landed in the lake and was like, "Oh, I'm home."
Ugh. All right.
Okay, yeah,
Into the drop
I'm
box.
completely digging this. By
Nearly
the way,
ready for that flight back into the mountains.
get back in that box, beaver. He's like half wrestling the beaver to get him in there.
The drop
Beaver's like,
crates are loaded into
man,
the
is that
airplane.
72? I know he's mad. God, look at that plane. Like, this video is so
Parachutes are
dated. I
attached
love
to
it.
cargo lines,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and the boxes are
Just
stacked
the
in rows
narration is
along
so
the waist
robotic
of the plane.
from the 40s.
10 boxes to a load.
And here's the
20
charcoal
beaver
filter and the
ready for the
microphone.
flight to Mountain Meadows.
Exactly.
The plane makes a careful approach,
I feel like
ready for the drop.
they're being careful
Now
with the
into the
beavers at
air
least.
and down they swing, down to the ground near a stream or a lake.
But you knew that would be the spot when I lost it.
The box
Just
opens,
seeing the
and a
parachutes.
most unusual and novel
Cut
trip
to the
ends for
beaver just
Mr.
looking
Beaver.
scared and confused in the
Yeah,
box.
he's like, where the hell am I? He was like, let's just mosey away from this whole mess.
He's on his way now. His nose and his instinct
He goes
tell
right
him
for
where
the
to find the
parachute.
water. There's room here for a new home. A large
I
shipping.
love
Alright.
the tone of this whole thing too, where they're so like happy about what they did. He's
And,
ready for his new home.
Now, everybody listening, don't worry. The link to that video will be in the description.
It's a good little short watch because
It's a minute
I feel like
55 seconds. It is worth every
I
second.
feel like
of
I learned something there watching that.
it. I
So
also want to point out
Geronimo,
they
my new
lost
hero.
that footage. At some point, the Idaho Fishing Game Department lost that footage, and it wasn't found again until 2014.
That's kind of amazing, actually. Because you know somebody was in the office there at the park or whatever and was like, "Wait a second, what is this?
I was reading an
What
article,
we
and
did we did what with the beavers?"
when they
So
found
you
the
gotta see this,
footage,
Jay, and like,
like they had known about the footage, they just didn't know where it was. And finally, someone called. It was either somebody in the Fishing Game Department or at a journalist office, National Geographic, something like that. Got a
Yeah.
call, and the only thing they said on the other end was, "Oh my God, we found it." And they were
like it's some fucking Watergate tapes or something.
like it's the
I love
fucking
it.
holy grail. Like we found it. Oh my God.
Well, they're not too wrong. Actually, it is a pretty solid video.
I also want to point out I have some recommended videos over to my right here. We got newly discovered video of the parachuting beavers from CBS News, which is just this footage, I assume. We got
So
a whole bunch of parachuting beaver stuff, and in the middle of it, just Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
yeah, because they're about the only ones that would understand the story. They're like, "Oh yeah, no, that
It
makes
feels
that
like
makes
Monty Python's good.
It really does. It really, which is 2 episodes in a row that we're riffing on Monty Python because, man, real life just mimics art, doesn't it? And so, I like to think that Geronimo went out that crate with a cigar in his mouth because he was the test beaver, right? The one they threw out multiple times.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, this ain't my first rodeo. So he just, lands like Ice Cube. It's about to be a good day.
I do
I
love
love it. I
the
love it.
added detail in that quote of even there he stayed in the box for a long time after his harem was busy inspecting the new surroundings. Like,
Right. It's
he
like,
was just
let's.
he was waiting for somebody to come pick the box back up, and he's like, "Yeah, I know how this goes. Come on."
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they're gonna pitch me out again. I guarantee it.
They fucking
But
petrified that beaver. Every time he hears an airplane go overhead now, he's gonna shit himself a little bit.
yeah, he's become a war veteran. You know what I mean? Like,
He's got like shell shock and shit.
yeah, let's make this beaver like us.
And now, for anybody who is listening to this on Spotify, maybe even YouTube, you will notice that the picture for this episode is just a beaver looking bewildered in a crate, and that was on purpose. I am making that the fucking picture for this episode because God, is it funny.
Nice. Nice. Well, I mean, at least, like I said, that was a happy story.
Like I said, very short episode, like half the runtime of most of our episodes.
Yeah, you notice the happy stories are always shorter.
But
Because if you let shit go too long, then it always ends up in tragedy.
I felt like with the stories we've been putting out between Hindekai Effect and Brandy Stare and fucking Pope Formosus and all that
Yeah.
shit, I felt a little levity was needed, especially in this fucking climate we're in right now. So
Right. Yes, but I'm bringing the heat next time. So
I was also aware you had a longer, more serious project coming up, so I figured let's add a little bit of levity into our channel feed.
Yeah, it's good that we take a little breath here before about what we're about to dive into. So I don't know how much you know about African dictators, but
Not shit.
yeah, no, I didn't either until I started looking into it and was like, man, there's the same as every other dictator, basically.
Since we're at the end of this episode,
So that's what that tells me is like it has nothing to do with your skin color or location. Dictator's gonna dictate, man.
power leads to corruption, so then is it not power that is the corruption all along?
That's awesome.
I heard that on a gaming YouTube video at some point in the last week, and it stuck with me.
Well,
I don't know if that's a quote from anywhere or if that guy just pulled that out of his ass while he was doing the story writing. Either way,
which
it
is
was
where
a
all
quote.
good quotes come from. Well, that's where the best quotes come from. Stephen King's got so many because he's just batshit insane.
Oh yeah,
so
much coke and acid.
Oh yeah, but he writes good stuff.
Now, since we're in the wrap up into this episode, I do want to put it out there. I'm aware I haven't put out anything on the gaming series in a minute. I'm doing a long episode tomorrow. Okay, I'm recording it. I have a feeling.
I ain't pressuring you.
I have a feeling it's not gonna be fucking fun on my end because, as everybody who's seen the last episode will remember, I got to the fucking save point in the cells and then was violently murdered before I could save because the game has a dumbass 50-50 fucking you can save or you can't mechanic.
Yeah, I remember that.
So there's a chance I just throw my mouse against the wall and I start a Rim World series instead. So fuck you guys. How about that? That being said, I hope everybody enjoyed the episode today.
Sounds fair.
You can find us on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, the whole bullshit. Links will be in the description. And
once again, we always appreciate, you guys listening. Yeah, thank you for spending your time with us.
The lesson we can take from this story, the last few lessons have been don't strangle popes. This lesson, I feel like, is throw the beavers out of the airplane. Take the chance. It might work.
And in this case, it did.
For some fucking reason, it worked. And it somehow made the environment better. I don't understand how any of this happened, but it happened.
Well, I guess sometimes you just got to spread a cluster of beavers out, is what we learned here. Can't have too many in one area.
So you disgruntled farmer that is listening, beaver eating your irrigation system? Throw him out of a plane. It'll
Throw 'em out of
only
the
end
plane.
well.
My name is Elmo W. Heater. Please call me.
That being said, there is a 1 in 76 chance that that beaver dies. So just keep that threat in mind with you.
Pretty good chances, though. Pretty good chances to make.
Hella good chances. I'd take those
Yeah.
chances.
I would take those chances over the chances that I'm going to get fired at work tomorrow.
You're right.
You know what I mean? The chances of me getting fired at work tomorrow are much higher than 1 in 76. So, yeah.
Hell,
And
if I
yeah, I
got a
guess.
button in front of me, I press it, but 1 in 76 times that I press it, I die. Every other time I get $1,000, I'm hitting that bitch about 5 times.
Oh, I'm telling you, if this is Grand Theft Auto, I'm just going to camp out there and keep pushing that button. But all right, guys, it's been a ride. And until next time, protect your neck.
We will be back with a longer episode next week, so hopefully you enjoyed this little short series. If you did, let us know. We might start a little short series on the side. Who knows? But until
Oh,
next
absolutely.
time,
I've got so many that are just
I have
probably
so
20
many
minutes.
short stories that I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out how to make into a full-length episode. So
Yeah.
this is
How
the
you
test
stretch
project
that.
for that.
Oh no, I'm loving it because I've got tons, man.
Because either we start a whole new side series, or y'all just deal with shorter episodes occasionally. That's how it's gonna work from now on.
Hmm. We don't really care either way. So
But either way,
I mean, I don't honestly.
until next time, try throwing that beaver out the plane.